Okay, so we are going over the homework for lesson 3.6, right? So here it is. It says find, what's it say? Anyway, find the distance between each pair of these two lines, these parallel lines right here. So you got to know what it looks like. Y equals -2. When it's just y equals something, what kind of line is it?
Horizontal.
It's a horizontal line, right? It's a horizontal line that goes through, oops, -2. All right, so that's what that line looks like right there. So what do you think it looks like at 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that, doesn't it? Everybody see that? What when they say x equals, what kind of line is it? If it says x equals something, they're just vertical lines. So look, if you graph it, now it's pretty easy. What's the distance between these two lines? Right here it's 4, right here it's -2, and it's 6, right? So the distance is 6. So I don't have to do anything fancy with any equations or really any math at all. I just count. That's it. Okay, let's do one a little more challenging than that. 23? 23 or 28?
25 or, oh wait, no, those are the easy ones. Never mind.
Let's do 28. 28 would be like, if you can do 28, you can do 23. Okay, we'll put it that way. So let's do 28. So
Can
it's
you do 29
3.
too?
I don't know if we'll have time to do any more than this. If we have time, I'll do them, but
Are you gonna collect this?
now I'll let you hang on to this to review. Watch what we're gonna do. Let's. You got to give me time, okay? I'm getting shot with a lot of questions, but time is of the essence right now. So let's just watch and see what we're doing here. First thing I want to do is I don't like the look of this. Do you? So let's make it y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. It'll look a lot nicer that way. So I just get y by itself. So that's easy. Just go -3x plus 3. Everybody see that? So now it's slope-intercept form. What about this one? Get the y by itself here. Just subtract 17. So y equals -3x minus 17. So there you go. You know they're parallel to each other because they have the same slopes, don't you? And what do we have to find? We have to find the what between them? The distance between them. So let's draw a little graph just to kind of let us visually see what's actually going on here. I think that's very, very helpful. So let's graph both of these. +3. -17. Oh my goodness. Actually, I don't have to count down exactly, do I? Let's say it's down here like this. Is that all right? And they both have a slope of -3, correct? You don't absolutely have to graph it, okay? But I just think it's helpful so I can visually look at it and see. So it is +3, right? And the slope is -3. So watch, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Would you agree? So I have a dot here, and I connect them. Let's make this another color. And it should look something like that. And I'll just extend that up like that. Right? So that's what that line looks like. I'm just going to copy and paste. Make it a little bit easier. And looks like that. Everybody okay? So there's my two lines right there. What am I trying to do between those two lines? I'm trying to find what? I'm trying to find the distance between the two lines. So what I'm going to do, let's go blue. You could start from this -17 and go perpendicular to this one, or start at the +3. Which number would you rather deal with, +3 or -17? Yeah, I agree. So this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to find that distance right there, that blue line. That's what you're trying to find. Does that make sense? So how can I find the distance? Well, distance formula. What do I need for the distance formula? I need 2 points, don't I? So I already know this point right here. That's why it was nice picking that point. So what is that point right there? It's 0, 3, isn't it? Now, this is the key. Is to find that point right there. Don't know that point. So I'm going to call it XY. Everybody okay with that so far? All right, so let's figure out how we're going to find that. How can I find that point? Well, it's the intersection between these two lines, between this line and this line right here. So I already know what this line is, don't I? It's y equals -3x minus 17. What about this blue line? What do I know about this blue line right here? Well, I know it's perpendicular to this one, so that tells me it's what? If I know, it tells me the what, though? Give me a word. Give me a word. The slope, right. It tells me the slope. So it tells me the slope of this. So what's the slope of that little blue line right there? It's +1/3. Exactly right. All right. What else can I find? I could just look at it and see something else about that blue line. I know it's y-intercept, don't I? What's its y-intercept? It's 3, isn't it? Because that's where I drew it to. So if I set it up like this, yeah. Okay, so what's the y-intercept? It's what? It's 3. So I can write the equation of that line very easily now. What is it? It's 1/3 x plus 3. So there's my 2 equations. Now why do I care about those 2 equations right there? I care about the 2 equations. Let's make this purple. Yeah, that's right. You set them equal to each other. And then I can find x and y, and then once I find x and y, plug it into the distance formula and I'm good to go. All right? That's not so hard, is it? So the key is finding this point. The key is finding the point. All right? And you have to think a little bit about what these things have in common. Being perpendicular is a big deal, isn't it? It's a big deal because it tells me the slope. If I already know the slope of this line right here, this purple line, I don't have to do any work at all, hardly, right, to find the slope of the blue line because I know they're negative reciprocals of each other. And I can also look and find the y-intercept, so that was easy. So now I set these equal to each other, solve for x, plug it back in, solve for y, and I've got that point right there. Once I have that point, I put it into the distance formula, and I've got my distance.
Could you also do the y-intercept as negative?
You could have done it that way too. You could have gone this distance right here. Absolutely. Still would have got the same exact answer. You're right. Yep.
Can
Okay.
you tell me the answer to this problem?
That one was, they said 2 squared of 10, which would be the square root of 40.
Yes.
Right.
I did mine completely different though when I got the right answer.
Completely different?
Not completely different.
It's probably not
except
completely different.
I didn't find the answers that way. I found it a different way.
This is a good way to do it. Do you want me to do the whole thing, or you do? What, to solve for x and y? You don't?
Yeah, solve. I want to know how you find y.
You plug it back into either one of these. Once you find x, you plug it back in for this x, and then find what y is. So you could have plugged it into this one, or you could have plugged it into this one.
Yeah.
Right? So watch. Let's do it real quick. Negative 3x minus 17 equals 1/3 x plus 3. Let's add a 3x to both sides. Keep it positive. And subtract a 3 from both sides. Okay, so that's negative 20 equals, what's that? 3 1/3, right? So 3 1/3 is what? 10/3? So 10/3 x. Get rid of the 10/3 by multiplying by 3/10. 3/10. See, that 10 will go once. This will go what? Twice, negative. So x is negative 6. Is that what you got? Yep. So that's what that x part is right there. It's negative 6. Now I got to find y. Look, I got 2 equations that are equal to y. So I could put it into either one of these. It doesn't make any difference. Let's put it into the blue one. Might be kind of easy, right? Because watch, y equals 1/3 times x. What's the x? It's negative 6, isn't it? And then plus 3. So that's once, that's twice, that's negative 2. That's a 1, isn't it? So y is equal to 1. So what's this point right here then? It's negative 6, 1. That's what that point is right there. I just did it. It's negative 2 plus 3, which is 1. Which is, well, you might have picked, did you pick this point down here? You probably picked this point over here. You probably went this way. Yep. And you could get a different x and y, but still, when you find the distance between the two, it's still going to be the same thing. All right, so it doesn't matter if you go up here. I just picked up here just because 3 was easier than negative 17. That's the only reason. Okay, and now you can do the distance formula and plug it in to the distance formula. So now, what are your 2 points? Negative 6, 1, and what was the other one? 0, 3, right? So you just put that into your little distance formula, and you're good to go. So this, subtract the x's. Negative 6 minus 0 is negative 6. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. That squared is 36. That's a 4, right? It's under a square root. There it is, square root of 40. You can leave it like that if you wanted. Okay, I don't care at this point that you leave it like that. But 4 times 10 is 40, isn't it? What's the square root of 4? It's 2, square root of 10. So you could simplify it like that. That's how you do it.
Can you go back? You know how when you're solving for y, and you like the equations to do. Can you check whatever one you want?
For one of the, yeah, I could have taken that x and put it into the top one if I wanted to.
I mean, like, can you take the one from you can take the pink one, the blue one, and the third
The third one? Which one's the third one? You only have two. You got this. Well, you knew this equation, right? So you're either going to put it into the blue one or the pink one.
No, but I'm saying, you know how, oh, never mind. Yeah, those two.
Right. Yeah, these are the two that you're talking about, right? Yeah. So you can put it in either this one or this one. You'll still get the same exact answer, right? You set them equal to get -6. You could put -6 into this one. Watch, -3 times -6 is what? Positive 18. 18 minus 17 is 1. See? You still get the same answer either way. Yeah, I've got a little worksheet for you to do. It's another review. And no, hang on to that homework so you can use it to review for the quiz tomorrow. Remember, the quiz is 3-5 and 3-6. I will collect it, just not today. Okay, 3-5 and 3-6.